dark we bring the light. Oh, sweet Savior, never broken. Honor's creed forever spoken.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Inner Sleuths live stream. Today, we're going to be going over the Market Square Part 3 patch notes. These came out a little while ago. I'm still not feeling the best. For those of you who don't know, I was in the hospital, wasn't doing too good, but I'm out now. I'm home, and I'm ready to try my hand at getting some streaming in again. But that's where I've been. I just haven't been doing too hot. But thank you for everyone for all the well wishes and everything. It really means a lot to me, guys. My voice is still on the fringe. I don't know when it's going to come back fully, but you just have to bear with me on that. We do have quite a bit to talk about today, as well as some rants and raves about things that are slightly off topic that we'll get to, whenever they come up, but most likely near the end of the stream. Some Dune Awakening drama and talk and stuff like that to see what you guys think about that. We're going to be talking about private servers today, but mostly we're going to be going over the Market Square Part 3 patch notes. If I mute for an extended period of time, I'm having a coughing fit. Just bear with me. I'm doing my best here, guys. We got a bunch of people in chat already. Really great to see you guys. We got God Silent Grace. We got Blimpy, EOTB, Fadrill, Xuse, Maven, Stephen Moon. Haven't seen Stephen in a while. Really great to see you, Stephen. We got EOTB, Watson, Justin, Agaris. Awesome to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share the streams with your friends, your family members, anyone who you think might get a kick out of it and enjoy their time here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Voidlock. I run the Order of the Blood Brothers. It's a clan in PAX Day. I also run the Cheeky Buggers United. It's a community. It's a gaming community. And I always like to start off by inviting you guys to all come and join the Cheeky Buggers United and or the Order of the Blood Brothers or any other clan or guild that we run for any game, really. You guys are more than welcome to come and join our community. It's an open community, but our servers are private, the ones that we host. Some servers we host are open, but we do have a vetting and a verification process. It's our way of helping to keep our community safe, make sure that we're hanging out with people who are acting in good faith. It keeps the trolls out, keeps the bad actors out, keeps all of that riffraff out, and make sure that we're interacting and spending our time with those who are good faith actors. Make sure that we're not wasting our time being taken advantage of or trolled by individuals out there, because as we know, the internet can be filled with many, many trolls. And if there's one thing you should never do, it's never feed a troll. Let's scroll up here and see what you guys are talking about in chat real quick before we get going. Fadrill says, I hope you're feeling better, Void. I'm not entirely feeling. Yesterday, so 2 days ago, I felt better than I did today. And yesterday, I kind of took a little bit of a downward turn. I don't know why. It just is what it is. I'm going with the flow, doing everything I can to try and get as good as possible so I can get back into it fully. But I really do appreciate you, Fadrill. Thank you for the wishes. Xuse says, hello, everybody. Maven says, hello, everyone. God Silent Grace says, glad you're getting better. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely better than when I was in the hospital. That's for sure. Watson says, getting from break. Oh, you're on break right now? Greeting from break. You're on break at work, I assume. Great to see you, Watson. Thanks for stopping by. Steven says, thank you. Good to catch one of your streams live again. Have missed you guys in the community. Yeah, we've missed you too, Steven. It's been quite a few things that have been unfolding, to be honest. Quite a few things have been unfolding. Thyson90 over on Twitch. So for those of you who don't know, I am dual streaming over on Twitch right now. It's my way of casting a wider net so we can reach a bigger audience. So I'm over on Twitch. A lot of the Twitch chat and all that stuff, the overlays and things, they don't really work for Twitch per se. So if anyone is finding me over on Twitch, I am over on YouTube. I am Inner Sleuths over on YouTube. We also have a Twitter or an X account, whatever you want to call it. I post some stuff on there from time to time. I have an Instagram, but I never really use that, to be honest. But if you're on YouTube, if you don't mind going over and subbing on Twitch if you have it. If you're on Twitch, come on over, sub on YouTube. Get that cross-platform goodness going on. But Thyson says big maintenance tomorrow, 4 hours, maybe some more teasers. Maybe. Yeah, they did. There are some interesting stealth updates in this, which we're going to talk about at the end as well. I got some pictures courtesy of Eisenborn, one of our community members. Thank you so much, Eisen, for going out and doing that research and getting those screenshots for me. But we do have quite a bit to go over in terms of what we got in the patch itself. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of people who are still salty. There's always going to be people who are salty about the game, about any game's development. It's just the way it is. It's just how gaming is. It's just how the world is nowadays. But we did get some good stuff in this patch. This patch had a compass along with a bunch of other things, being able to sit in chairs, some more emotes and things. They're nice to have quality of life features. They're nothing groundbreaking though. It's not the big systems that we need in the game just yet. I fully think that they're working on those. We don't know when ultimately we will be able to have those in our hands, but I do think they're working on them behind the scenes. I think they're running into some major roadblocks, but we can talk about that. For those of you who are new here and don't know, my favorite thing to do is to chat with you guys here live and make sure that your voices are heard, whether that's over on Twitch or YouTube. I will be reading both messages as long as they're in good faith. I'll be reading them off and we can have a little dialogue about them. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, makes no difference to me. I'm here to talk about all of it and give you guys a voice. My number one thing is to make sure that we're always being honest and truthful in everything that we do, have integrity in the stuff that we're talking about. I'm never just going to bash something just to bash it. It will have merit behind it if I criticize something. If something gets praise, it's worthy of praise. But that's my number one thing. I like to make sure that this platform is being used by not just me, but all of us. So if you're new here, don't be shy, hop in chat. Let me know what you think about some of these additions and some of these subtractions in some case. Some things were like the wooden pegs taken out, alterations, all that stuff. Let me know how you feel about these things because the devs are watching, the devs are listening, and so is a big portion of the community. So I want to make sure that we are making all of our voices heard. Alyssa, how's it going? Welcome into the stream. Watson says, we here in the alternate reality of Florida is never awake or asleep. It is the Florida way. Is that so, Watson? It's really great to see so many people in chat. Gary says, been there with the cough. It just won't go away. Hope you feel better. Yeah, I hope you get better too, man. I know we will. It's just a matter of time, right? It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. So we're going to come out the other end better than when we went in. But yeah, it's definitely sucks. I don't know, I've had this cough for like a month. It started off just one night of sore throat and then a week of a cough and then boom, in the hospital. It was terrible, but hopefully it's on its way out now and we can move past this. Also, for those of you who don't know, we're not just about PAX Day. We are a community first and foremost. We play all kinds of stuff together. We've been recently playing World of Warcraft, getting ready for the player housing update, which is coming out, which looks really, really exciting. That's going to come out sometime in the fall with the next expansion. It looks to be absolutely amazing. You can have neighborhoods for your guilds, all kinds of really cool stuff. I love checking out all kinds of games as they're being developed and seeing what they're coming out with. Star Citizen is another really big one. We have a lot of people playing Star Citizen together right now. A lot of people playing World of Warcraft. A lot of people still in PAX Day. We play all kinds of stuff together. So if you guys are looking for a great place to call home and you want to play all kinds of games together and just meet really cool people to hang out with, no matter the game, consider joining the Cheeky Buggers United. You can type !Discord in chat. Over on YouTube, those commands work. They don't work over on Twitch as of yet. I haven't set anything up on Twitch yet, but you can join our community by joining our Discord. And if you'd like to apply to become a verified member so you get instant access to all of our private servers and things like that, you can type !website. That'll get you a link over to www.cheekybugger.net where you can fill out your own application to join the Order of the Blood Brothers and become a verified CBU member. It kind of goes hand in hand right now. You fill in an app, and that app gets you verified CBU status after we do our interview and stuff with you, and we chat with you. And then you could choose which guilds, clans, and whatnot you want to join. We have allied members in PAX Day who aren't in the Order of the Blood Brothers who are verified members. And that way it removes any conflict of interest. So it's up to you what you want to partake in. And we're just here to facilitate it for you guys. Thyson says an update to the eyes, to the eyes, POIs. Yes. And I have some pictures of that we're going to talk about. Near the end, after we go over these patch notes and stuff, we can go over that stuff. But yeah, they're looking pretty cool. I don't know what is the pushing factor behind the changes, unless something more is coming. It may have just been a little thing that one of the devs did just in their spare time. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it could possibly mean, but I'd love to hear from you guys what it could mean for the future of PAX Day. But yes, the eyes did get an update, pretty significant one at that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and unpause Tangia. For those of you who'd like to interact with Tangia, the entire last stream, I forgot to unpause it. For some reason, it didn't unpause. Hold on, let me see. If you'd like to interact with Tangia, you can type !Tangia in chat, and you'll get a link over to my Tangia page. It's not letting me unpause it for some reason. So it looks like I'll leave it unpaused on my stream deck, but oh, there it goes. It just took a minute to update. There it goes. So if you'd like to interact with Tangia, you can go over there. You can do funny memes. There's dungeons and stuff you can do on screen. It's a lot of fun. There's some pretty cool stuff over there. We got a bunch of chat flying by. Guys, my eyes are still bugging me a little bit, so I might miss some of your chat. That's never my intention. I do my best to read everyone's chat. I really tried to get to all channel members. Also, huge shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for your continued support. Even during this drought, the lack of content for PAX Day, really appreciate you guys. The cat died says, hey Void, logged in for 10 minutes when the patch released and experienced all the updates. Nothing much with the new build pieces. Was really hoping the new sets would be included in like Limestone. Yeah, a lot of people we sussed that out early before the patch came out. The way they worded it, that it was only going to be fleshing out the existing build sets. So we didn't actually get all the new build sets or anything like that. They just kind of added some pieces to the existing sets. But it's really great to see you, Cat Died. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Yeah, we're gonna get into talking about that. We're gonna talk about the stuff changed at the eye and the shadow updates, the stealth update stuff. And we're going to go over all of it. This might be kind of a long episode. I'm still not feeling the greatest, so bear with me. If times we got to catch my breath or something, we'll make sure we make time for that. EOTB says Conan, Enshrouded, Nightingale, Icarus, tanks, and a lot of games. A home and safe haven for all in good faith, 100%. Yeah, thank you for that, EOTB. That's so true, man. That's so true. That's what we're all about here at Cheeky Buggers United. Doesn't matter what game we're playing. You'll never need to be alone. You'll always find someone. You'll never need to be alone in this world or the next. No matter what game we're playing, you will always have a friend here at the Cheeky Buggers United. You can find cool people to play cool games with and make awesome, awesome memories. EOTB says, the eye feels just like still tied to them bringing in the knights, the church systems, as they have stated, all linked through the eye church and the wildlands. Maybe. I don't know too much about how those are going to link into the lore and into the game mechanics, like the game systems. Cat Died says, glad to hear you got out of the hospital scotch-free. COVID is no joke. Yeah. It's just, I mean, I had it before and it was like no big deal, but I don't know, man. This one was really bad. I'm not going to underplay it. It was super, super bad. But I have some other underlying health issues as well that I think did not really play well this time. And it was kind of a perfect storm. I was also really dehydrated. So I've been making sure to drink lots of water now. Athena, how's it going? Welcome in, Athena. Really great to see you. I hope you are doing well. Athena, you know, you're always welcome to come and hang out with us at the Cheeky Buggers and play all kinds of games, regardless of if it's PAX Day or not. Come and hang out with us over there. It's really great to see you. Miss your face. Thyson says, think we need to keep an eye on them. I see what you did there. We got to keep an eye on the eyes. Amanda, oh, you're okay. I'm not going to read your message because you redacted it. If you want that message right, Amanda, make sure you send it again. I can still see the message on my end, but I do see that you redacted it, so I'll respect that. Pete, how's it going? Welcome in, Pete. Great to see you again, buddy. Long time no see, man. All right, guys. We have quite a bit of patch notes. Athena says, hope you're feeling better, my lord. I'm getting there. You know what? I'm still alive. I'm getting there. Thyson over on Twitch says, but I think it's a place where we can offer something to become a knight or a soldier. I don't know. It would seem so interesting because that's where there's a lot of Inquisition feels there. Like it's an Inquisition old stronghold or something. I'm just not sure. But maybe that's why all those swords are there. Maybe those are sacrifices of people making a sacrifice to become a knight or do some game mechanic. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but we'll pull those things up. Should we pull those up at the beginning, guys, or do you want to go over them at the end? Let's go through the patch notes a little, and then we'll get to those. Because that's exciting stuff. We gotta build a little suspense, right? Watson says, "I'll hark back to the slave pits." No, see you later, Watson. Thanks for stopping by, man. Chris says the Inquisition sigils are all over that place. Yeah, they are. They're all over the barrels and the boxes and sigils and stuff on. It's on everything. It's crazy. I don't think we can ring the fire bell. I don't think we can. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I will show some images here on screen in just a little while. We're going to go through some of these patch notes, though. Maven says, I would not want to be knighted amongst the regal of the inquisitors. Yeah, I definitely would not want to be either, but I don't know what their intention is. I guess we'll see. All right, so they start off by, this is the Market Square Part 3 patch notes and known issues. So if you guys are experiencing any of these issues, well, the ones that are on this list, they already know about, but don't hesitate to still put in your F8 reports to let them know. EOTB says, go all Johnny Cash, fell into a burning ring of fire. That's funny, man. So they start off saying, hello, Paxians. General release notes were published with the Market Square Part 3 announcement. These are patch notes for March 13th, 2025. So today's the 18th. We're a little bit behind, but I haven't been feeling too well. That's why we're a little bit behind schedule, but better late than never, right? To talk about this stuff. And honestly, this might be interesting because a lot of you have a chance to have mess around with these things now. Like Cat Died popped in and he was saying how, nothing really crazy. 10 minutes, you see all this stuff. Cool. Wait till next patch. Like that seems to be what the sentiment is from the greater community. But let's go through the patch notes so we can let everybody know who doesn't even have the game what has happened since the last update. So there's, first of all, they got some changes to the markets here. They introduced a new remote market browsing within the home valley. We're going to go a little more in depth on some of these topics and if we think they're good or if we think they're bad or if we think that they're indifferent, we can go a little more in depth on this episode and chat about these things. We're going to recap a lot of the stuff we've talked about on previous episodes of PaxCast, more in depth as well. But we can give a pretty good recap here, I think. So the remote markets browsing, I think that this is both good and bad. I think for those who want an easier experience and a higher quality of life, and maybe aren't so into role play, I think that the remote market browsing is going to be a good thing for them. They're going to be able to just hop into a home valley, press tab, go up to browse or whatever the market thing is, click it, and then you'll be able to see all the items that are for sale and who's selling them, how much they are, and then you can click them and it'll actually put a marker on your map and on your compass, your new compass, which we did get. I mean, honestly, a compass should have been in like from day one, but you know what? We have a compass now, and you can just click it, and with that remote market browsing, it will mark on your map and everything, so you can just follow it to be able to go and purchase whatever that item is that you were browsing for. Now, I can see how this is a huge quality of life. For people who just want to play a game and aren't really role-playing and don't really care about immersion and things like that, it's a huge quality of life. But I think that for role players, it's taking something away. And again, you got to remember, I'm coming from a role player standpoint. So I think it's taking something away because no longer are you going to have a bunch of people just coming to town to browse your market stalls on like a market day. They don't have to. They can just pop in to your zone and open it up and see exactly what you have available. And then they can choose to just leave. They can also use this to undercut markets because now you can edit your listings. Yeah, I just feel like it can take something away. I mean, half the fun of the markets was having people come to town and having a bustling city heart of random people coming in the market to purchase things and browse things. Like, Now it's like we have Amazon. You could just kind of, sure, you still have to go to pick it up, but it's kind of like Amazon. You can just go and browse exactly what they have available now. Thyson over on Twitch says, but I have not been able to see clay on the market, not even if I put some up myself. That's interesting. Is it only clay? Only clay's not showing for you? Sabella, welcome into the stream. Really great to see you, Sabella. Sabella says, lots of mixed views on remote markets. All I know is I used to sell nothing and now I sell everything. Yeah, I mean, if the gold was worth more, if the markets were a little more useful or something, I'd say that was like a good thing. But the only thing you're really using gold for is to like maybe purchase something else. But when you have a bigger clan or friends or a community that you're playing with, you kind of don't really need to go and purchase stuff from other people too much. Obviously, people are buying stuff, but I don't think I've really sold anything else extra. But then again, figuring out prices is hard for a lot of higher end stuff. And a lot of the best stuff isn't even finding its way into market stalls, although it might now that you can edit your listing. When you edit your listing, you actually don't have to pay as much as you would if you were to put it up for the first time. Like that 10% is actually less than 10%. If you go from like something costing 1 gold on there and then you bump it up to 100, you don't pay 9 more coins, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of a little loophole around paying the full 10%. But yeah, I mean, my main gripe with the remote market stall browsing is that I like the naturalness of people coming to town to search for stuff, you know. EOTP says, in my opinion, the fault lays with the mindset we need multi-stalls for each type of crafting. At this point, want verse easy. Oh, you're saying it's a want verse, like a convenience. The other view, without visiting, doesn't take away. They need to stop and rethink. Yeah, I just don't like not having to have people come to town to search for stuff. Agarius says, it'd be nice if perhaps the RP servers have that feature turned off. I think that would be good, but then you know that some people are going to complain about that. Some people would be upset. And that's where it's like when you introduce a feature like that, and then even if it was toggleable, or if you just choose not to use it, it's hard not to use a thing out of convenience when it's there, right? So the fact that that system even exists just kind of takes away from it a little bit, in my opinion. Chris says the bell is not currently interactive. Athena says, love the wood icons. Yes, the icons, they did change a lot of the icons and stuff. Thyson said, I hope we get sell history soon. Yeah, it'd be nice to know who you sold stuff to and how much it sold for and the quantity and whatnot. It'd be really nice to be able to see that. But that is the remote browsing within Home Valleys. Take it for what it's worth. Let me know in the comments down below if you're watching this in the future, what you think about the remote markets. Let me know in live chat what you think about remote markets. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can really do about it, but I don't like the fact that it takes away from roleplay, in my honest opinion. They added Heartland Market View to the main menu, and that's what lets you actually look at the entire Heartland markets that are available. Added the ability to create a waypoint leading to the market stall with the sell order that you're looking for from the remote market browsing. So again, this is what's going to be marking your map, allowing you to browse and navigate directly to whatever it is that you found. Added the ability to edit your own orders, your own sale orders in the market stall. I don't know if this is going to refund you money if you lower its price. I doubt it. So you always want to work your way up in the price. And by doing so, again, there's a little bit of a bug where it costs less to upgrade or to increase the cost rather than, just putting it up for the full price right away. Added filtering and sorting of sale orders in markets. Added new visual variants to market stall. So there is a new looking market stall. It doesn't act any different. It's exactly the same. It just looks a little bit different. Have a little variety to it, which is nice. Added a limit to the prices. So now there's actually a limit on the price. Implemented various bug fixes to the inventory and market UI. I was getting a bug where it would keep telling me constantly that I have no permission to sell stuff here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's my stall on my property that I built with my things. It was just a bug though. Hopefully they fixed that one. Altered Ego Gaming, how's it going? Welcome into the stream, buddy. Really great to see you again. Says hello here. Hello, all. Hey, glad you're doing better. I'm doing a little better, yeah. Not great still, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. We're getting back into it. We're going over some patch notes. We're talking about all the things that came in the Market Square Part 3. All right, so they implemented various bug fixes to the UI and stuff. Fixed an issue that could accidentally cause the input field for gold deposit and withdraw to be deselected. I've noticed that as well. That was kind of annoying at times. It wasn't anything too big, but it was a little frustrating. Fixed an issue that was making it difficult to close some market error messages. Fixed an issue where the sell order and the market stalls were ordered randomly. That was kind of frustrating. I'd put up something for sale and it had no rhyme or reason. But I think now that you can like filter and search them and stuff, I think they've kind of readdressed that. Blimpy says, the king heard that you didn't think you should have to pay taxes on your stalls, so they disabled yours. That's funny, man. Yeah, that ethereal king that we pay 10% of our taxes to. Those taxes still crack me up, man. So that's all the stuff in the markets. The next thing that we got here is the compass. So they introduced the compass. More details on it in the recent spotlight. We talked a lot about the compass. We went extensively into detail about all the features on it. You can toggle it on and off. So for those of you who don't like the compass, you could just go and toggle it off. I think a lot of things need to be toggleable, to be honest. Salty Veteran, how's it going, buddy? Welcome into the stream. Salty says, the PAX update brought some cool additions and improvements, but it still falls short of what the game really needs. It's a step in the right direction, but not enough to keep things feeling fresh. I agree 100%, and that seems to be the sentiment here so far from a lot of people is that, you know, it's things that we needed. It's not stuff that we wanted. There are a lot of quality of life stuff in there, some little things like some animations and some stuff changed, and some little hidden things as well that we're going to talk about at the end here. But we need big systems. We need a more in-depth permission system. We need an ally system. We need a war system. We need, you name it. We have like very minimal systems that we actually need in order for this to be a proper MMO. And I was researching that actually. And according to like 5 or 6 years ago, MMORPG, I remember reading an article about how in order to even be considered an MMO, the minimum threshold that they considered was like 500 people on screen at a time in the same shard, which they can't even accomplish here. It's like 80 to 100 in PAX Day. So technically PAX Day is not even an MMO, to be honest. It's quite interesting when you look at it from the bare minimum metrics of what it means to be an MMO. But yeah, they need a lot of systems. They really do. They need to get a lot of systems out. Hopefully in the next, we'll see with the next big update, because this was a minor update according to them. Hopefully with the big update, we can get the things we need. We can get some of these systems in place to really allow the game to shine. I don't know. I'm going to keep pushing for private servers. I don't think they're ever going to give them to us. I think they're too worried about the bottom dollar and getting that money. Kind of like some games when they implement too many microtransactions. But I'm going to keep pushing for private servers, honestly. We'll talk a little more about that in a little bit, but Dune Awakening's having the same issue. Cat Died says, they just need to do away with the map markers on the compass. They did say that eventually those will be toggleable. You'll be able to hopefully on an independent level go to each of the nodes or the markers that you have placed and actually click them and hide each one independently. Fadril, thank you for the first out of 5 towards our super chat goal for this stream. Really appreciate you, Fadril. Fadril says rooms available in the Stag and Willow Inn. See me or Moon. Fadril, really appreciate you, man. Thank you for your continued support. Look at that shiny gold star, man. So many people with gold stars now. Thank you guys for your continued support. If you guys would like to support my work as well, you can click that join button down below. When you click that join button, you'll have 3 different options. And the longer you stay a member here, the more upgraded your star gets and you get some perks along the way. So it really does help me out. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Fadril, for the super chat. Brandon says, sorry, I just jumped in. What problem are they having that Dune is having? No, I was just talking about Dune is having a lot of pushback for not having private servers. And I think the sentiment for PAX Day, at least in my community, is growing, that, and things that I've heard from other communities as well, wanting the desire for having private servers. Private servers guarantee longevity for a game. They guarantee that no matter what happens, you'll always have the ability to host your own server for it. There's a variety of games that are similar to this. I mean, like Conan and stuff, that are large capacities of players that I think that PAX Day could benefit from it, to be honest. And we could talk more about that too after we get further through the patch notes. But Dune is having big issues with people, a lot of the really diehard fans saying, no private server support at launch, dead on arrival for me. I'll wait till you have private servers, because they're not willing to invest into it until they know that when the doors close on the official servers, you could still host your own. Salty Veteran, thank you for the 2nd out of 5 towards our super chat goal. Salty says you can even sit in the chairs for an extra 100 coins. Oh my gosh, man! Thank you for the continued support, Salty. I really appreciate you, and thank you for the super chat, brother. Yeah, you can sit in chairs now. It doesn't cost you 100 extra coins, but that's freaking hilarious. God Silent Grace says, off to do surgery on some fish. Can't wait to watch the rest later. See you, my dude. God Silent Grace, thank you for stopping by, man. Take it easy. Hope the fish surgery goes well. German 3D printing nerd, how's it going, man? Welcome into the stream. Blumpy says Dual Universe made it capable after 2 years, but it seems like a precursor to shutting down the main servers. Yeah, and I think that they should just go with giving people the option to have private servers from the get-go. And now I know some people are on the fence about it because they're like, oh, you're not going to have the interactions. You won't have conflicts if it's just your own closed communities and stuff. And we can talk more about that, but you absolutely would. It would just be in good faith. You could take a clan like ours, the Order of the Blood Brothers, with 250 members, community of over 400, and you could break it down into, hey, you could only have 20 clanmates. You could put a limit on it. Like in V Rising, you can set the number of vampires you can have in your group in your party. And then, you've limited the server to that many people. So now groups would break up into their own little groups and stuff, and you could have good faith scrimmages where no one's metagaming or, exploiting and stuff to gain advantage. It just seems like a much better model, in my opinion, because then you're not being forced to interact with bad faith actors and trolls and people who are going to exploit and cheat and stuff like that. You're in control of your own community, and everyone's vetted and verified. They're all acting in good faith. But we'll get more into that when we talk about Dune and stuff, because Dune does look pretty interesting. Who will be the PvP zone villains? Anybody from the community would be. You can have good faith bandits. I've talked about this a long time before. I mean, even I could be it. Hey, I could go in there and be like, all right, this time on our private server, I'm going to be the antagonist. It's all in role play. You have to be able to separate in character from out of character. And that's why we've started the Fellowship of the Free Cities. It's not just for PAX Day. It's really an idea. It's an ideology, really. But the idea comes back to, you can have any group or clan or community or anybody come to us, get vetted, verified, show that they're acting in good faith, become part of CBU, the Cheeky Buggers United, and now they gain access to any of our private servers. Like, for instance, when Project Zomboid comes out, we can have a rule, or when Project Zomboid's update comes out and we host a server for it, or V Rising, we can have a rule, you can have this many in your clan or whatever, in your gang, your group, and some people are going to be the good people, some people want to be the bad people, but it will be in good faith, Like Blimpy, if all of a sudden you wanted to be, I'll try my hand at the antagonist for roleplay. I know that if you come and you kill me in PvP or something, it's not like out of a place of spite. I know that you did it in good faith and you're just filling that role of the bandit. And at the end of the day, we can still sit on Discord and we can chat about our day and have a good time and stuff. There doesn't have to be animosity there. Right now, you end up in a position where you have people like the White Ravens or other bad actors who are acting in bad faith in other communities and stuff, and they simply want to troll you. It is their goal to troll you. And in a game like this, it becomes a problem. It starts to fester and it becomes a problem. That's where the desire for private servers comes from. You could take the entirety of the Blood Brothers and we could cut it up on our own private server into little groups and stuff. Everyone has their own clans. Even if you want to be a solo player and be like a highway bandit or something, it's all in good faith, And that's really where the Fellowship of the Free Cities is going to shine. I haven't fully announced it yet. It's going to take a while for me to flesh out all the rules and stuff and how the process will pan out for applying for it and everything. But it lets everyone else involved know that, hey, these people are acting in good faith. They're not coming from a place of spite or anything like that. Let's see here. Blippy says, oops, I did a full load of wood chopping, but forgot the grace thing first. Oh, yeah. The grace can really make it go a lot faster. Blippy says, I get that, though. I hate being griefed. Absolutely. And that's what I like that's what I really like to pride my community on is, no grief, no drama, no toxic behavior or anything like that. It's just a nice group of mature individuals who want to spend their time with other mature individuals, have a good time playing whatever game it may be. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be PAX Day. Could be anything. Private server for insert game here. And that's traditionally what I've done in the past. Like before PAX Day, I've hosted countless private servers for like Minecraft, Conan, V-Rising, Project Zomboid, Vintage Story, insert game here. I've hosted a server for it, right? And we've had a ton of fun. But that's what it's all about. Just being able to come together and know that you don't need to worry about being griefed or trolled or that someone else is exploiting. And if someone has been proven to do those things, they just get removed and they no longer have access to it. You have the ability to actually moderate, because there's been some pretty egregious things. I mean, we've had people out there on the MMO scene in PAX Day do some pretty egregious things to individuals and treat them absolutely terrible ways. And it's really disheartening to see. And we do our best to bring it to the right authorities so that the admins and moderators can do stuff, but they don't really seem to moderate or do anything. So it's just all goes under the radar, and you have to it forces you to have to deal with it as a player. And that's the part that I don't like. And a private server, not an issue at all whatsoever. Maven, thank you for the 3rd out of 5 super chat towards our super chat goal. Maven says, you're not going to want to miss the food and drink specials this week at the Stag and Willow Inn, Seafood Drill and Moon, and mention code Huzzah. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Maven, for that super chat. And thank you for your continued support as well. Really appreciate you. Ange, how's it going? Welcome into the stream. Really great to see you. For those of you who don't know, Ange made her debut on our last episode of PaxCast. She was a guest star here, a guest host here on PaxCast. So if you guys would like to hear Ange's voice, go back and listen to the previous episode. We're going to have some more guest hosts in the future as well. We'll have people on as we talk about new additions and what it means for the game and stuff like that going forward. But I'm not going to stop pushing for private servers. I can talk about it all day. Maybe we'll even do an entire stream about it when I do my review about PAX Day, my 2,000 hour review on PAX Day. But I'm not going to stop pushing for private servers, guys. I think that it would be absolutely amazing to have in the scene. All right, so we had the compass, which we talked about in the last spotlight, and they removed the guiding wind from the game. That was like you could press G or whatever it was, and it would show you kind of like wind would blow towards your marker. It was kind of interesting, but you don't need it anymore because now we have a compass. So that was kind of a placeholder, I guess. All right. Let's see here. Building. Added new building pieces, more details on our dedicated spotlight. Again, so these build pieces, they're nothing super crazy. There's a couple pretty cool pieces. There's like some round pillar thing now, some new floor pieces and stuff. But what they did was they fleshed out the existing build pieces that are in the game. All of the build sets that are in the game, they got a couple more pieces added to them to help flesh out anything that may have been missing from them. Those are the build pieces that were added. They removed duplicate small half timber roof support entries from the construction menu. They rebalanced resource cost for various roof building pieces to make it, all make more sense. They adjusted ingredients requirements for the stone wall foundations, rebalanced resource cost for half timber building objects, adjusted window shutter and door recipes to use a single base recipe for both left and right and double variants. So now they're basically giving some balance to all of the recipes, ingredients, and stuff. They're making them make more sense, and they're just rebalancing a lot of stuff here in terms of cost and whatnot. UTB says, think panel of 1,500 plus hour players. That'd be really cool. If anyone wants to be in that, That'd be pretty interesting to do. It'd be kind of hard to manage with a lot of people in it. But let me know if you guys want to do like a 1,500 plus, like 1,000 hour plus think panel of community members. Send me a message over on Discord. That's void_lock, or join the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server and at me on there. I'd love to hear who'd like to partake in that. And don't be shy, guys. I mean, I know that this seems like this is a scary thing to do or something to come on a podcast or anything. It's really not. You know, we're just sitting here chatting, having a good time. That's all it is. Athena says, we had fun breaking Void's chairs. You broke my chairs? What? Ange, you and Athena were breaking my chairs? That's all right. I got so many of them now at this point. What do we have? Like 17 chests filled with chairs from people making box chairs. We got plenty. You'll never find out, she says. What? I'm reading it right now. What are you talking about? Blimpy says, hey, Storm is here picking my flax and stone. Oh, where you are on the end game? Ange says, would we do that? Absolutely, you would do that. That's hilarious. Let's see, what else did they do? They moved the brazier from furniture to lighting and decoration. In the furnishings menu, they standardized the skill level at which new and old build pieces unlock, fixed an issue that could cause buildings on sloped ground to have lower structural integrity, leading to unexpected collapses. Oh, wow. I never even really knew about that. That's terrible. But then again, I do build up solid from the ground, so that's interesting. Fixed an issue where an active area of effect spell could prevent plot placement. That sounds like a big problem. Yeah. So those are some building changes. Nothing super big there. I know a lot of people were really hoping for the new build sets and stuff with the new stone, the limestone, and the new fancy wood beams and all of that stuff. But unfortunately, didn't get any of that. We just got it fleshed out. Some existing build pieces. I'm sure a lot of people. Let me know in the chat if you guys have been enjoying the new build pieces, though. Silo says, "Howdy there, Void. Hope you're well, brother. I'm doing a little better, man. I'm getting there. Still not great, but it's great to see you, Silo. Thanks for stopping by." We're just chatting about all the stuff that we got in this patch and some people's level of expectation and some people's disappointment with the lack of actual systems coming out in a timely fashion and things like that. But we're just sitting here having a good time chatting about it. But welcome in. We got a bunch of new people joining chat. Guys, if this is your first time here, don't be shy. Hop in chat. Let us know what you think about these things. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let it be known. UTB says musical chairs minigame. Players providing content to the game. Well, that's literally what we do, right? We are the content. The devs won't give it to us. We are the content. And she says Athena and I would beat everyone in musical chairs, right, Athena? UTB says the only thing around about those pillars mainframe is the plot system. They did address having the holes in the plots when you place them next to each other in between them. So hopefully they get that fixed, because that's super fucking frustrating to try and work around. I mean, that is just absolutely abysmal to try and stagger your plots properly. It gave us so much trouble over at our little build site where we were doing a proof of concept on building a city, and it was just such a pain in the ass to try and work with that. Athena says, indeed, we should practice synchronized dancing with the new emote. Plastic Jesus, how's it going? Welcome into the stream, buddy. Plastic says, I very much enjoy your streams. It's been great following along. You know what? It's been great having you here, Plastic Jesus. I really appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the kind words, man. I'm a little late on this one because I was in the hospital. Actually, I wasn't doing too good. I'm getting a little better, but we're going to get back to our regular PaxCast, you know? Tom, how's it going, Tom? Welcome in. Tom says, PaxCast, let's go. Well, Plastic, it's great to see you, man. I'm glad that you enjoy these. And if there's anything that anyone thinks I can do to improve these, just let me know. Let me know what you guys would like to see here on the channel. If you guys want to see something completely different, if you want to see maybe, I don't know, a little spin-off on something, let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see as well down in the comments and in the chat. Silo says there was some nice quality of life stuff, but they need to step up the dev game on bigger systems and content. I agree 100%. That's been the sentiment across the entirety. I mean, the numbers reflect it. There's like not the numbers are so far down on PAX Day. It's crazy now. Obviously, there was a little bit of a bump because of this update, and people go and check out the 10 things they added, and then they put it down for a little while. So it's interesting to see, but they definitely need to step it up. Cat Died says, I took an incredible amount of coordination and activity from our clan to stagger all the plots in cascading fashion. Yes, same. It was insanely difficult to get it just right. I mean, if you're off like one little strand of hair to the left or to the right when you're placing one and you're trying to place them in a straight line, it was ridiculous because it would eventually, like 10 plots down, 10 plots in, 10 rows in, now you're off too much and now you have a hole in one of your plots. Such a pain in the butt. And it's like, why? Just literally don't have those holes be there. Hopefully they can get that sorted out, but I definitely feel that frustration. Cat Died 110%. Holy crap. Ange is gifting 5 channel memberships. She is giving the gift of membership to 5 people here. They went out to Karen. They went out to Papa Green, Bears Junkie, JD, and Pa. Congratulations, guys. Ange, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate you. For anyone who has been gifted a channel membership, you will have a membership here on the channel for an entire month. If you choose to carry it over, you'll get to keep your perks. You will then get the perks over on the Discord as well. If you link your YouTube to your Discord, you'll get perks over on the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server. And if you choose to keep your perks as well, your star will upgrade to the next color next month. The longer you stay a member, the more upgraded your star will become. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really do appreciate that. That helps the channel out more than you know. Thank you for all the continued support from all my members as well. Really appreciate you guys. Maven says, everyone like on the stream and wish Void for getting better. Or as I wish well. Thank you so much, Maven. Appreciate that. Karen says thank you for the membership. Blimpy says, if anyone is in game and can message Storm, please apologize for her on my behalf for not interacting. I feel bad. Oh, did she try to? Oh, your game is messed up. Send her a message on Discord. She's on Discord, Blimpy. Just shoot her a message. Go to the PAX Day channel and do @Storm and just send her a message and say, hey, my game's messed up. Can't, whatever. That way she knows. Storm's amazing. Storm's such a great lady. Ange, thank you again for those 5 gifted memberships. It means a lot. Especially during the drought that we find ourselves in. That's what I'm calling this era over on the Passage of Time on our wiki. This is the drought. This is the time of drought for PAX Day. Okay, so let's see. We have Grace. They added audio when receiving daily grace now. They fixed a bug where making an offering for grace while falling was possible. Okay, interesting. I don't know how they figured that one out, but someone must have been trying to get some grace while they're like, I'm about to die. Please give me grace. Splat. Darth, how's it going? Welcome into the stream, buddy. Darth says, my like is counted towards dead foxes. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Ange, cover your ears. I mean your eyes. He typed it, didn't speak it. Cover your eyes. You don't need to see that. So that's all the grace changes. In-game chat via Discord. So I feel like this is kind of useless right now. And says banned. That's hilarious. Brandon says, if PAX's numbers keep dwindling, all the remaining clans should just combine into one big city. See, I would agree with that, but there's some people who are on our blacklist for doing egregious things to other individuals that I don't want to be in a city with them. You know what I mean? I'm with you on that. Like we're gonna need to at some point. Like, but just give us private servers. Accept them, Brad. Well, yeah. Well, how do you like force that though without a private server? I don't know. Maven says I like our independence. Absolutely, yeah. But I think the sentiment there is just, I think he's kind of joking, but I think the sentiment there is just kind of funny because it's like pretty soon we won't even be able to fill one city with how many people play the game, actually. It's just, it is sad to see, but hey, we're here to just report on it, I'm just the messenger. Mojo, welcome to the Senior Sleuths. Thank you for becoming a channel member. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much, man. Wow, you guys are going crazy today. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. Mojo, hope you've been having a good time, man. And so here's the thing too. Mojo is a newish player, and it's hard because I feel bad for all the new players getting into the game right now. You don't get the same experience as you should have, like if you were there on day one, So my heart goes out to all the people who are just now getting into the game. We do our best to still try and give them that experience and give them, the best player experience where they get to go and do all the things. But it's like without having been there on day one, it's really hard. If you go and watch some of my earlier streams, you'll see what it truly was like. It actually was much closer to an MMO back then than it is now. Now it's kind of like your own personal build simulator, and it's like you kind of feel like you're on your own private server as it is. But my heart goes out to the new players who are getting into it right now because they just don't get the same experience. But Mojo, thank you so much for becoming a senior sleuth. If anyone else would like to become a channel member, all you gotta do is click that join button down below. You get all kinds of perks and stuff. And again, if you link your Discord to your YouTube, you get, I guess your YouTube to your Discord rather, you get all kinds of perks over there as well. But thank you so much for becoming a channel member, brother. Really appreciate you. And says, yeah. Darth says, that's why my force training is so important, Henge. Virgil says, Mojo, if you need help in PAX, something, let me know. I'll be happy to help. Yeah, everyone would. I mean, we have some people who are taking a little bit of a break from PAX, but if they get a message about you needing something or help with something, they will absolutely hop in and come and help you craft or do whatever it is that you need. And we're going to keep running dungeons and stuff like that and having fun where we can while we wait for the systems to be developed. But I always tell people who are new, don't be discouraged. It's an interesting game. It's a very fun game. I definitely got my money's worth because I made so many awesome friends and built such an awesome community around it. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. But hopefully soon we can get some systems that brings a little more life back to the game. Because right now I'm starting to see there's fatigue across the entirety of the community. I think it's just, without there being a lot to interact with and a lot to do, and a lot of the systems aren't there. The entirety of the PAX, from what I'm reading on the official Discord and everything, and from what I hear from a lot of people, the fatigue is real. And the people on the outside looking in who are like, watching the game's development, they're like, yeah, they really just don't have the systems they need right now. I'll come back. I'll check in later. So it's hindering them a lot. It really is. And I'm not here to blow rainbows up anybody's bum. I'm not here to naysay or be just fully negative. I just tell things as they are. If there's one thing that I will always be, it's honest. I always have integrity and honesty, and I'm just here to tell the truth, right? So sometimes I have to talk about things that people don't necessarily want to hear, want to talk about, and I get that 100%. But there's certain things that we have to talk about here in order to be truthful and have integrity in all things. Let's catch up on some more chat here. Maven says, yeah, any of us would be happy to hop on. Mojo says, thanks for all your hard work. Get feeling well. I'm working on it. I'm trying, man. I'm really trying to. But yeah, hopefully soon they give us more to talk about here on PaxCast so we can do some more episodes of PaxCast. I do have some other podcasts if you guys are interested in like creepypasta style stuff or lore readings. I got 2 podcasts dedicated to that. Got some interesting stuff in the works. But make sure you guys check out all of my other work here on YouTube as well. And let me know down in the comments if you're watching this in the future, or let me know in chat what other things you guys would like to see as well. But let's get back into these patch notes. So in-game chat via Discord feels kind of useless right now. Everyone's already using Discord as it is. So I don't really truly understand. I think they're probably gonna expand upon it in the future, hopefully to proximity chat, where you can actually hear where people are talking from and you can actually whisper to people and stuff like that. I think that would go a long way. as it currently is in game, to me, it's useless. I use Discord. We're all on Discord. I use Discord to chat with you guys, to do everything pretty much. So I don't really see the point of having, I guess for parties, it could be good because you're not necessarily going to be on someone's Discord if you're just in a party with them. So for party, I could see that, but really only partying with clan members. And the clan thing is limited to like 35 people. So even then, you can't even have everybody in one thing in game, in one chat room. So I don't know. Proximity chat is what they need to do. Hopefully this evolves into proximity chat. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section or over there in chat. Let's catch up on some more chat here. Maven says, I've noticed many people checking in over their DC over time too. Brandon says, to be honest, that's what I was hoping to get out of this game. I want it to be so freaking civilian, a huge city where I don't know everybody, just living a medieval life, with magic. Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be really, really cool, honestly. And there is kind of a way to do that currently. So right now our city's kind of a hamlet, but we've been testing with building a cohesive city. And it's worked out really well for us so far. We've put a lot of work and energy into it, and I will show it off on stream at some point. It's not done, and it probably won't be done this patch cycle because it's just a proof of concept. So there's really no point in like finishing it out. But it's like 50 plus plots right now that were all donated from different clan members and community members who just wanted to partake in it. But it has an undercity with a sewer system. It's got city streets. Sorry, I have to grab a drink of water here. My voice is going. But yeah, it's an amazing build, but it's just a proof of concept. It was to see if it was even really possible to do on the scale that we wanted to. And it absolutely is. And it turned out really, really cool. Obviously, once the game comes out from full release, it's going to be costing us money per plot. So things like that really aren't going to happen, I don't think, to be honest, which is unfortunate, which is another reason. Give us private servers. Let us have that freedom to be able to do things like that. Could you imagine as a private server, I could have unlimited plots and we could have some of the best builders in the entire community come together and they could all build this the most immersive giant Baldur's Gate city you've ever seen. And then it could be locked. And maybe if by then we have a permission system where different rooms can be rented out, or buildings could be rented out, or different sections of the city could be rented, and then it allows you to edit the interiors and stuff. I used to have a mod for Minecraft that would let us do that. You could build something and you could sublease out. It was all protected unless they bought the sublease on like the room, and then they could only change stuff in the room. And when they were done with the room and their lease expired, it popped the room back to exactly how it was and it put all the stuff inside their inventory. That was theirs, like they got kind of evicted. So I think there's a lot of really cool things that could happen with systems like that. And a lot of this is theorycraft. We do a lot of theorycraft here on the channel, but I think that something like that could be really, really cool. But I definitely understand your sentiment there, Brandon, about, wanting to live in a big city and just not really know everybody. Silo says proximity chat would be amazing. Yes, proximity chat would be what this voice chat really needs to be. Maven says, Void, I forgot to tell you, Jill and I were out east and we heard griffins and heard something more interesting, what I assume are griffin baby sounds. Just couldn't climb high enough to check. Oh, interesting. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, there's been some interesting little changes that have been taking place behind the scenes. Maven says, I like proximity chat, but like being able to hear out clanmates no matter how far out we are. Well, I mean, that's what Discord could be for, right? You could use Discord still in the background to do stuff, but then proximity chat in game would be really interesting, especially for roleplay, because again, you could be hiding in a little secret area of the sewers and whispering to one another, and it's echoing through the halls, and people are hearing you, and they're trying to track you down, but it's hard to hear where it's coming from because the way the echoes are reverbing and stuff. And like a full-fledged system like that just would be amazing for a game like this. They need to keep giving us the systems we need in order to roleplay more efficiently. Blimpy says city sounds cool. I would need a very basic outer plot. For my lack of building skills would be an eyesore. Sabella says, oof, this theoretical build sounds like a dream. Yeah, I mean, the What we have built right now kind of turned out pretty cool, to be honest, also. But I don't know, on a private server, man, where you could just have some crazy huge build that you had as a central town, and that was the town for the whole. Gosh darn, that would just make my day, man. We really need private servers for this game. I'm not going to stop. Brandon says, oh, I didn't even think of the private server like that. That would be sweet. Yeah, exactly. The Cat Died said, I'm really concerned with the future of PaxCast when the subscriptions per plot system is implemented. Holes will pop up all the time in large city builds. And the flip side, I like the idea of parking. Yeah, I think that it's going to be an issue. Is it going to be the downfall of the game? I don't know. I mean, hell, the game's on a downward trend right now because, well, development and lack of actual systems in game. We need like loot permission. There's so many things, the systems that we need. We could talk about them till we're blue in the face. So many systems are missing, but yeah, Cat Died. I completely agree with you. I think that the subscription per plot system model is going to be a big issue. I can understand why they would need to have something like that, but on a private server, we wouldn't need that. I mean, we could just set a limit for them, or we could have them be earnable somehow in game. Like, oh, if you do some great deed or something, you get another plot associated with you, or depending on the size of your clan, you get that, or maybe it's based on an influence system. I mean, there's so many different things that you could implement that would give you more plots on a private server. Maven says, oh, would it work okay layering Discord with in-game chat proximity? Yeah, I mean, people do that all the time. I'm on Discord with someone chatting, and then it's got in-game chat that you push the button to talk in-game, And then when you don't push the button, you're talking to people on Discord and shooting the shit about whatever. And then when you need to talk in the game again, you push your button. I mean, it's a little bit to juggle back and forth, but yeah, 100% you can do that. Gwydion says, honestly, that's an interesting question, Maven. I'd have to see how Discord voice is being implemented to give it a proper answer. Oh, you mean like actually let it function because it's powered by Discord? I think it would work. I don't know. I'll have to test that now too, Gwydion. Let's try and test that out. We'll be in a voice chat on Discord, and we'll have our Discord linked, and then we'll join the thing in game and see if it like kicks you out of one. That would be a problem, honestly. And if that's the case, I don't think they'd be bringing voice proximity. I could be wrong. Ange says private servers with no boundary limitations, like building close to roads. We could, if a private server, you should be able to do whatever you want, right? You could allow for people to do that if you want them to. I don't know if that'd be a good idea or not, because you don't want people layering people in, but with active admins and moderators who actually go in and take care of things like that, you could just have rules for things like that. I used to do that on V-Rising. I said no castle layering, because back before you actually claimed the whole property in V-Rising, you used to just place your castle and then people could put their castle heart in front of yours and they could block you in. So you had to build along the road, or people would have their own little clans and they would team together and they would layer castles, allowing them to have much more refined and in-depth defense systems with multiple layers, because they had technically multiple castle hearts to chew through then. And I didn't like that either. So I have those as rules. They're not really applicable anymore because they found their own solution to those issues. But nevertheless, we definitely could do something like that. Blimpy says the holes mentioned by the Cat Died are made worse by relying on neighboring plots to square up the plot. Right, and that's what we were saying. Even making our own whole city, Blimpy, is really hard to do, even if you're the one placing all the plots, because you have to place them in like perfect alignment. I mean, in order to do it, what we had to do was we would put down the temporary plots, then we would put down foundations in a straight line, and then we would put these little fingers coming off of them to be able to tell exactly if it was off kilter at all. And then we'd pick them up and we'd place them back down as straight as possible, using that as a template. It's such a pain in the butt. Athena says, prox chat with push button on and off to mute trolls. Yeah, I mean, they really need to find a way to make it to where you can just, like in World of Warcraft, if I block someone or whatever, they just disappear. You're just gone. But then again, there's like 4 or 5 million people who play that game, or even more than that. So it's a little different than on here, but they do need to find a way for us to not have to interact with some of the most egregious individuals out there, from a sanity standpoint. Cat Died says, in-game chat is not a great idea, in my opinion. I know a lot of our folks are excited about to get on and play when they see others in voice chat on our Discord. In-game voice should be limited to proximity only. I agree with that. Cat Died, 100%. I think that That makes the most sense too, right? Proximity chat in game, allowing you to talk to the people around you like that is the way that it should be done. Maybe this will evolve into that. I don't know. We'll read through the Discord patch notes here after in a little bit once I'm able to get through the rest of this chat here on stream. But hopefully they bring proximity chat. Who in chat wants proximity chat? Do you guys think that that'd be a good addition to the game where you can like whisper and things like that? I think that'd be really, really cool. I do think that for typing chat as well, they need to have different ranges. They need to have like a whisper range where it's only like a couple feet around you that can be heard when you whisper to someone else. Not like a direct whisper, but like a whisper open in the open. I think that'd be pretty cool for chat as well to bring immersion to the next level. Let's see. Gwydion says, Maven, if it is programmed reasonably, then it should be possible to proximity chat with Discord. Maven said that'd be very cool. Gwydion says, the proximity aspect isn't handled by Discord, but rather the code and audio sources, assuming Unreal works like Unity in that respect. Yeah, I don't know if it does, though. I'm not positive. We'd have to look into that more, Gwydion, and see. Cat Died says, you won't know who is playing. You won't know who is playing by opening up Discord to get a peek at who's playing. There will be less engagement if people start using in-game voice or using only in-game voice. I agree there. Yeah, I could see how that could be an issue for sure. I mean, you could still see what games people are playing on Discord, so you can just check and see, oh, Cat Died's playing PAX Day, okay, or he's playing Star Citizen, or he's playing this, so you can tell where people are that way if they have their status enabled on Discord, that is. I'm not a huge fan of everything being centered on Discord. I think that when every single system is pumped into Discord, you're putting all of your eggs in one basket. All it takes is, I've seen servers get nuked because of one tiny thing that happened on their Discord or whatever, and then their whole server just gets deleted. I mean, that would just be insane. That's why I run my website separate, my forums. It at least gives you another avenue of communication to be able to reach out and chat with people and whatnot. I like having infrastructure, my own infrastructure, and that's why I like private servers. Blimpy says, hopefully they can make the plot joining better and solve any empty squares. Yeah, and they talked about that, Blimpy. They said that they're working on it. I don't know how actively they're working on it, but they did say that they are aware of it. Brandon says proximity chat would be dope. Gwydion says, I agree, it should be limited to proximity at Cat Died. All right, so this is what the patch notes are for the voice chat via Discord. They added the voice chat to clan and party lobbies, reintroduced chat bubbles that appear above your heads, which I'd like to see that toggleable, first of all. If we could make those chat bubbles toggleable, mainframe, I think that'd be great, because not a lot of people want to be forced into having those chat bubbles shown above their heads. Fixed an issue that could cause the chat to open while performing other actions. So hopefully that means they fixed the chat bug, because the chat bug would open the chat and then you wouldn't really know it and then you'd be stuck. Hopefully that's what that fixed. I'm not sure. Fixed an issue with Discord chat where the last opened UI wasn't persistent or retained. Fixed an issue related to Discord account linking error. Fixed consistency issue related to the chat history when a player unlinks from their Discord account. Made several adjustments to the Discord UI, removed UI interactions for system messages. Sorry about my voice, guys. It's still not the best. Hopefully they fixed the issue where, as a streamer, I would turn off my private messages through the settings thing for the chat, and then it would re-enable them all the time. And then my private messages would be shown on stream again. That's a huge privacy issue. That should be number one priority in my opinion, because that's massive, massive privacy issue right there. Hopefully that's fixed. I'm not too sure. But the last thing that got here for the chat is removed the timestamp from system chat messages. Let's see here. We got a couple more chats. Blimpy says, wait, I can't repair my iron chopping axe anymore. Can you not? Why can't you? Godian says, make it so text scales down in the size the further away you speak until it's not visible. That's a good idea. That's an interesting idea. I do still think that maybe having a threshold for like, if you're talking in a whisper channel or something, that it should show up just in like a super tiny area. maybe depending on, you could take the method that you just spoke of where, you're shrinking it down or scaling it down or whatever, and then have it do that for each of the different ranges. So if you're yelling, that goes a certain distance and then it fades and gets tiny, tiny, tinier. And if you're whispering, it goes a short distance and then fades real quick. That could be pretty interesting, to be honest. Brandon says, imagine getting close to the tavern or inn and hearing all the chatter from outside. Immersion. Yeah, I do think that could be pretty interesting, honestly. And that's why I think proximity chat and those whispers and things like that, because then it could be hard to pick up on with a lot of different stuff going on. You could be seeing different conversations happening all over the place. Would be interesting to see. All right, so that's the in-game voice chat stuff. We've talked about the things. If anyone else has any other comments, questions, concerns about the in-game chat stuff or about this integrated Discord thing, let me know. Let me know in chat. We can chat more about it. But that is everything that they've done in terms of Discord voice integration. Next thing we got here is characters. They added some new emotes. You press B to pull up your emotes thing. We have like dancing now, which is pretty cool. There's like a salute. There's a couple other new emotes. The ability to sit in chairs with specific emotes when the character is seated. So you can sit in chairs now, and now there are specific emotes while you're sitting as well. There's like different cheers and put your feet up and different things like that. They look pretty good, to be honest. They withheld the sitting in chairs from us long enough, I think, so I'm glad to have that. They showed that off like months and months ago, and then we finally just now got it. The ability to be able to sit in chairs. They added the ability to interrupt emotes with other emote selections. So if you actually do the wrong emote, you could just do another one. It'll just skip that old one. The appearance of the doublet was updated to be more accurate to medieval fashion. So that's cool. They're changing some of the appearances of some things. I did notice that there were like some, I don't know if they were new clothings or they just changed visuals on some of the clothings. But I did notice that some of the visuals changed on some of the clothing options there. They fixed various clipping issues. That's always great to see, to be honest, because that stuff kind of ruins my immersion when stuff clips through each other. I know it's inevitable in video games to some degree. Star Citizen's working on their Starcloth, which seems to have fixed the vast majority of issues with clipping of stuff. It's their clothing and cloth overhaul system, their new engine system that's coming out hopefully soon. That's supposed to stop all the clipping and stuff like that over in Star Citizen. Fixed an issue with randomized name button during character creation. Fixed an issue where the level up notification was not displayed. I noticed that, like the level up notification a lot of the times just would not actually show up on screen for some reason. I don't really know that it was that big of a deal, but it is good to know that they did fix that issue now. Combat changes. They improved the transition between weapons when an NPC is attacking, improved control click input chord detection, allowing players to trigger special attacks while blocking by tapping control. That's good. That makes it a little more fluid. That's really good right there. Fixed a bug that caused all spells to have Control 1 as their confirmation key. Fixed an issue that allowed players to gain more XP by chopping/mining nodes than intended. Oh, interesting. So there's a little bit of an exploit there where you could get more XP. So they fixed that. That's good. Sure up that little loophole there. Fixed an issue that could cause spellcasting bar to display names of spells cast by other players. I have noticed that. That was kind of annoying. That's like whenever you go to cast a spell and it would show just some random name at the bottom, like some random spell at the bottom of the screen. That was a super weird one. I don't even really know how that happened. I'd like to get some insight as to what was causing that one. I know maybe some people just really don't care about it and they're just happy to have it fixed, but that one was really interesting to me because it would just show someone else's spells or some random ass spell name at the bottom of your screen. It was so weird. Fixed an issue that caused active spells AoEs to block plot placement. They talked about that up above as well, so it looks like they put that in two places here. Fixed a crash that occurred when rapidly swapping spells into resource chopping. Wait, what? Fixed a crash that occurred when rapidly swapping spells into resource chopping. I'm not even really sure what that means there, but Good to know that that's fixed because, hey, fixing crashes is always good. Teleporting to the Petra Day while swimming is not working anymore. Oh, you used to be able to go to the Petra Day while swimming. That is kind of an important thing because if there's a bug where you fall through the map or something and you end up like in a pool of water, because that seems to be what's underneath the bottom of most of the maps, not being able to teleport out of there, I guess maybe the unstuck would still work. I don't know. But hopefully one of them works because they looks like they stopped you from being able to teleport to the Petra Day while swimming. Interesting. I'm not sure how that's combat related. Teleporting to the Petra Day while swimming not working anymore. It doesn't really seem combat related, but we'll let it slide. Ange says, I'm glad they did. Glad they did what? Which one of these are you glad? Stopping you from teleporting while swimming? Oh, when people would try to escape during PvP? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense then. Hopefully you could still unstuck though, but then people could just use the unstuck to get away in PvP. That would be considered a little bit of an exploit there. But people will take any unfair advantage they can, which again is the main driving force behind the Fellowship of the Free Cities and to have private servers, so that way it's only in good faith. People aren't going to be exploiting and stuff like that. That's probably why that's under combat. That's why it's under combat then, because it's related to PvP. All right, that brings us over to crafting. There's a lot of patch notes here, guys. We're just over halfway down the page. A lot of patch notes. A lot of good fixes, a few additions, and some changes and stuff. We're going to get to the juicy stuff at the end here, guys. You're going to want to stay tuned. Added new icons and models for wooden crafting ingredients when dropped. Unlocking recipes now sends a notification telling you what recipe you unlocked. If you click the link to the journal from the notification, the recipe you unlocked will be highlighted. Fixed an issue where the open in journal button did not select the journal recipe. Fixed an incorrect lock icon or an incorrect lock icon in the storage box UI when the player has access. Fixed an issue that could sometimes prevent stop crafting all from working. That was a big one. And the start crafting all, that was a big one too, because people would find that would bug out on them quite a bit. So hopefully they fixed the start crafting one too, or where you just randomly stopped crafting for no reason. Hopefully they fixed all of those things that have to do with crafting, because those are nice quality of life to get those things sorted out sooner rather than later. Fixed an issue where the inventory UI background remained visible after closing the inventory. Ooh, that sounds pretty terrible. Fixed an issue where some crafting stations were not displaying item stats. Fixed floating and misaligned props. So around the world, well, this says crafting. So what do they mean by, because crafting fixed misaligned props? Like I know in the world there's some like floating railings and stuff along the roads, and some of the roads are still pretty jacked up. Corrected various grammar mistakes and typos in item descriptions, and improved consistency of the item names. So there you have it for a bunch of crafting stuff. Nothing super, super crazy in there. We're gonna just keep piling through these things right here. Gathering and resources. They added a new way of gathering resources for mining and wood cutting that automatically switches to the appropriate tool and back to your previously equipped item. The best tool available in the inventory is always used with this method. The former system has not been removed. So this is an interesting new way. I think this is a huge quality of life for some people. It saves you from having to swap your stuff back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, over and over and over again. So this is a nice quality of life, in my opinion, and I don't think that this really ruins immersion too much. I've noticed that, like, if I'm holding an axe and or a battle axe, and something comes to attack me, like a boar or a rabbit or not a rabbit, fox out in the woods, and you go to defend yourself, it will start chopping the tree if you have a battle axe, even, because that battle axe can be used to chop the tree, and it's like it's forcing you to focus more on gathering resources rather than combat. They talked a while ago about how that was going to be corrected or how that was going to be fixed, but I don't think they ever actually got around to doing it, because the last I checked, it still actually occurs like that to me. So I wonder how this is going to happen here, where if something's attacking you and you're by a node, and you go to interact, is it going to switch to your tool and hose you all up? And when it automatically switches your equipment for you like that, when it goes back to your previous weapon or tool or whatever it is, does it reset the cooldown on the attack? Because if so, this would be like mandatory to have disabled in PvP then. Otherwise, if you get jumped and it automatically switched your weapon or your tool for you, your stuff's going to be on cooldown now. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how that actually functions and interacts with everything else. Blimpy says, I'm not sure I like that. Sometimes I use weaker tool for things that don't need my rare or expensive tool. Well, here's the thing, Blimpy. You can still force use the weaker tool. It's just saying it defaults to the best tool. So you could still force it to use your other one by just putting it in your hand. If you just put the weaker axe in your hand, it'll use that one. German 3D Printing Nerd says, I was chopping a tree and a boar came to me and my idiot kept chopping. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to swing at the boar, but it would like go back to chopping the tree. I'd cancel it, I'd go to swing at him, and he'd go back to chopping the tree. Libby says, okay, cool, thank you, Void. Yeah, no problem. If anyone else has any other questions too, let me know. And if you guys have any insight on this, let me know as well, because some of these systems I haven't been able to fully test yet. Tools now display the hardness level separately from the resource damage to clarify why a tool might not be good enough to use on a specific node. So that's good. That's good to have. Christopher Smith, welcome in. Welcome into the stream. Really great to have you here. Christopher says, bro, it switches when you are around trees. Right, but if you're standing next to a tree and something comes to attack you, if I already have an axe in my hand, I can kill a boar with an axe, but it would automatically start chopping the tree. It should prioritize killing the boar as opposed to locking onto the tree and starting the chop animation where you get stuck in the chopping animation. That's what people are talking about. It was like getting locked into that and having it automatically prioritize resource harvesting over like defending yourself. Could get people killed. Maven says, going bear hunting shortly if anyone wants to go. Mojo, hey, if you've never gone bear hunting, man, Maven's going bear hunting. That could be fun, brother. But Christopher, really appreciate you joining in the stream. Appreciate your comment too. Let me know if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, man. Love chatting with you guys. This is my favorite thing to do. Blimpy says, oh yeah, shoot, I logged out. I meant to check the axe repair. Is at the woodworking bench now instead of or something. Oh yeah, they may have moved it. Let me know, Blimpy, when you find out. Maven says, yeah, going to show him the bears. Oh, you're going with Mojo. Great. Great news. Great news. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. Yeah, and we'll get some dungeons going too, Mojo, so we can show you the inside of the dungeons for all the new members and stuff too. We'll have a lot of fun. So the tool's now showing the hardness level and stuff. That's pretty good. Good information there. Reduce the number of clay nodes, but increase the quantity of clay gathered per node. So supposedly they doubled the amount of clay drops, but they reduced the nodes by half. They're probably trying to reduce server load and lag and stuff like that, which I can respect, but it's not a one-to-one. I've noticed. People have been putting screenshots of their inventory only being 3/4 full on a loop that normally filled them up. So it's not quite. You're missing 25% of the clay now. You get 25% less clay on average from what I've seen without a blessing or anything rolling. Just doing a normal loop of what you used to be able to fill up your inventory is now 3/4 full. So you're missing 25% of that, which is a pretty big deal, honestly, especially when you need so much clay. Blimpy says, I'll log back in, but going to get some coffee, BRB. Sounds good, Blimpy. Let's see what else here. Improved flint spawning amounts. Updated the tooltip to update quantity and visibility when the stack count changes or the last item is used. Items with 0 lifetime, including torches, now are removed from the repair list. That's nice. It will clear that up and stop it from being so cluttered there. Christopher says the upcoming player wipe is a 5% wipe or full wipe. What do you mean, Christopher? The upcoming player wipe. You talking about the plot wipes? The plot wipes just do inactive plots, and it has to fit a very specific set of criteria in order to remove people's plots. They just did a plot wipe, but that just removes the plots that are protecting some people's plots that are property that when they haven't played in a long time, or they didn't meet like very specific criteria. You have to meet very specific criteria. As far as I know, there's no wipe planned currently. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think there is another wipe planned currently. The only wipe that we know of that's going to take place next is the one where we leave early access. And they said that they're on track to release the game this year. My mind would be absolutely blown if they somehow do either that, or they're just sandbagging and they have all the content and systems done and they're not giving them to us for some reason. I have no idea. I don't see how the game could release this year, but there are no plans currently for another wipe, Christopher. Blimpy says, and Mo easier to end up with nodes built over if there are fewer. Oh, yeah. If there's fewer nodes, it's going to be easier to build over top of them, which means less resources as well. Maven says mainframe devs keep saying that within their official Discord. Oh, they keep repeating that there's no wipe planned. Well, there you have it. Yeah, no current wipe planned other than the release wipe where we leave early access. Updated inferior leather icon and model. There's been a lot of icon updates, which some people like them, some people don't. They keep changing them though is the problem. You'd think they would just need to change them once to like a good one and then, keep that one consistent, but they keep changing them, which really is causing a lot of confusion for people. Christopher says, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem, man. If you have any other questions, let me know as well. Let's see here. What else did they do? Fix an issue where icons on the crafter would appear as a question mark. I've noticed that as well. Fix an issue where furnishings and crafters had incorrect visual during placement. Fix an issue that could cause container and crafter interactions to work unreliably if the system time was manually changed. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. That shows something reliant on your client then. Very, very interesting. Fix an issue that could cause dropped 3D mesh of an item to change when logging back into the game. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be disorienting as well. Blimpy says, nope, axe repair, not at the woodworking. I wonder if they raised the skill needed for that. Normally, you don't need to have skill in order to repair stuff. Did they change that? Does anyone know? Any confirmation on that? Why Blimpy's not able to repair his axe? Wait, Blimpy, is your axe actually have no more lifetime left? Because they said that you no longer shows up as a repairable item if the lifetime's gone. Does it actually have lifetime left? No, you used to be able to repair your axes, dude. You should be able to repair everything. German 3D printing nerd says they removed several flax spots and placed some with clay. Damn it, I need flax. Yeah, they've been messing with resource nodes and stuff. They said that every patch they'll be cycling them to different locations and stuff, moving them around. Chris says it might not be a high enough station. That's a good point as well. Blimpy, are you using the full bore station, or are you using like the lower level one? Blimpy says, oh, maybe that was the last use. We'll check. Yeah, let us know. Check the table too. Maybe you need to have just a higher end table. All right, so that's the gathering and resource changes. Nothing too crazy in there, to be honest. I mean, some good quality of life stuff, some good changes, some things that ended up not being as intended, probably like the clay reduction and things like that. But we'll see. It's going to be a constant balance, right? They're going to have to be constantly balancing all these things and changing them out. Now we got some world changes here. Expanded the plot names from 12 to 24. Okay, so you can just have a bigger name for your plot, I suppose. Optimized forage shaders and the tree roots to cling to the ground surface. So that's good. Now the shaders and stuff like that are going to be a little more optimized there. Fix an issue when a felled tree near an enemy camp would behave incorrectly. I haven't actually noticed that. That's interesting though. I wonder what it was doing before and how it functions now. If anyone has insight on that, let me know in chat. Fixed an issue that prevented loot piles from showing the correct interaction prompt after resetting. That we did notice. It would say that it's already looted, but you could still loot it, so we had to just check anyways on the loots inside the dungeons. Athena says, repair axe a weapons bench. Yeah, make sure it's not like the lower end weapons bench. Oh, it had no lifetime left, Blimpy. Okay, that's why. Yeah, so they did remove, you won't actually even see if something doesn't have lifetime left and it's not even repairable, they removed it from being even shown on the list anymore now, which I think is a good thing ultimately. It's going to prevent you from having it cluttered with all kinds of stuff that's on its last leg that can't actually even be repaired. What else did they do to the world? Fix an issue that we already read all those. Yeah, so those are the world changes. I mean, nothing super big, but again, some nice little alterations there. Graphics, this was a big one. I don't know. It looks the same to me, to be honest, but graphics updated to Unreal Engine version 5.4 and improved material quality scaling with medium and lower settings throughout the overall quality level in the graphics settings. So hopefully making things look a little nicer for people on medium and low quality settings. And they changed over to Unreal Engine version 5.4. So I'm not too sure. Someone who knows more about Unreal Engine in general will probably have to chime in on what actual changes come with that engine update. But I'm not too sure. But they are staying up. They're trying to stay up to date with the Unreal Engine versions, which is probably a good thing in the long run. Blimpy said, so it is just me being dumb. No, it's changes they made. I mean, you're used to seeing them show up there. You know what I mean? Christopher says, I see the difference in graphics. What settings do you play on, Christopher? Do you play on medium, low? Do you play on high? Because I was on, and I didn't really notice any graphic fidelity difference on high. I play everything maxed out, though, so I didn't really notice too much difference. It kind of looked the same to me. It ran a little bit smoother, maybe, but there could be other factors that are playing into that. But what settings are you guys all playing on? Let me know in chat what settings you guys are using, and if you noticed any difference in the graphics. I mean, the game's already beautiful as it is, so I'm not too sure that making it look more beautiful needs to be their focus. I think we need to get systems in place. Christopher says, so how much grace do you need to be a knight? That's not a thing, Christopher. Like I was saying before, they're missing a lot of systems from the game currently still. And that's what a lot of people are waiting for. A lot of people are waiting for them to actually get off their butts and get some systems added into the game. There's no knight system currently. The grace is only to help you harvest things more efficiently and can give you a +1 to your crafting attempts. That's all it does right now. And the way you acquire grace is by purchasing it with gold, which I think is kind of a shallow system. I was talking with another community member, and he came up with a very interesting way, and we were tweaking it on how we could present to them an alternate system on how they could go about making grace be acquired. We'll present that to you guys once we've fleshed it out a little more, but we do have an idea of how grace could be acquired that would be much more immersive and a much more rich game system. But we'll let you know about that stuff later. Let's keep going here. We're going to skim over the known issues really quick. Let's see if there's anything of note here. So market stalls, sorting by durability in the market stalls will display non-durability items alongside durable ones. Market stall waypoint can only be removed by logging out of the game. That's an issue. That's a big issue. Canceling or buying any order breaks the sort option. The market list does not show the tier tips on the icons. That's a big problem. The Heartland markets, when filtering orders, the next filter active showing X or Y orders always displays the number of orders in the current page. That's a problem. Sticky selection, the player could use keybinds of the last selected item in the market stall even after reopening it. That's a problem as well. Some of these are pretty bad. Some of these are pretty bad issues, but it's good to know that they know about them, and hopefully they're working on finding solutions to them. After canceling a sale, the E key on the keyboard becomes unresponsive. That's terrible. When opening the market UI from the main menu, when outside of the Heartland, there's no market order to browse. The UI instructs you to select an item in the inventory and click create sale button. That's a bit weird. Sort by name is currently and temporarily not available in the market stalls. When the browsing market orders remotely, sorting by name or using the text search, temporarily not available. In the meantime, you can use all other sorting and filtering options to narrow down your search. So those are the issues that they know about with the market stall. Let's see here. Maven says, I want my Damascus steel back we had in alpha. We need a bunch of new resources and stuff and things to craft. It feels very bland right now, especially after having it for, 9 months now. or more. We've had the same resources, pretty much the same equipment sets for 9 months. Chat and voice chat. In most situations, the chat doesn't open after pressing enter from the build menu if it's already open. When a player is in both clan and party, if they join one of the voice channels and then click join other voice channel to switch over to the other voice channel, it gets cancel or dismiss the confirmation box. Or if they then cancel or dismiss the notification box, join the other server option will become grayed out and unusable. Oh, so it like bugs it out and you can't actually switch voice channels then. So that's a problem. Leaving any voice channel after canceling the join other voice button with the escape key will move the player to the canceled channel. Oh, that's a problem as well, because unintentionally moving you then to the other voice channel. The push to talk setting is only accessible from the voice chat settings. Should also be in general, they say. If a window is open before the chat window, it does not accept keybind inputs. That's a problem, because that's going to be frustrating for people. F5 doesn't hide the chat bubble above the character. So there you go. They do know about it not hiding the chat bubble above people's heads. Hopefully we can just have that be toggleable in the settings, like the compass. That'd be really nice. But those are your chat and voice known bugs. Let's catch up on some chat here. German 3D Printing Nerd says mounts for riding and fishing would be awesome. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like we've talked about many, many times, there's systems that we just need to have that we don't have yet, right? UTB says, I know where the sound changes come from. They updated the under the hood tool that they're using. They're going to use the new model called Audio Kinetic. It gives them more flex in how they produce the sounds, along with Discord integrations. That's interesting. I didn't actually know about that. So they're using, where did you read that? Where did that come from? Blippy says, oh, I forgot about the chat bubbles. Yeah, the chat bubbles actually show above people's heads now too. And then we have miscellaneous things that they know about. Character lobbies, the Discord hyperlink in the mainframe messages is broken, leading to no text channel. Demonic trees have the E felling option, but should not, as they are not choppable. That's interesting. That's really interesting that those trees are showing as if they're choppable. Emotes are not functional while the construction hammer is equipped. Furnishings and crafters can be placed in the air. That's interesting. Integrity issues. Construction elements can extend indefinitely over water without proper support. This can lead to building destruction when it's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Guys, everybody, did you just read that last thing with me there? I am so glad I read through these. Oh, no. That is not good. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Amber, how's it going? Welcome into the stream. EOTB says decrypted the source code. Oh, that's where it came from. The community decrypted the source code. Gotcha. Maven says happy birthday, Amber. My birthday's actually coming up. It's on the 21st. It's not actually Amber's birthday. It's just a running inside joke, guys. EOTB says London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Okay, so this last one, I'm going to read it again. Integrity issue. Construction elements can be extended indefinitely over water without proper support. This can lead to building destruction when it is fixed. That city we've been building is built entirely over a lake. Everybody should come and check it out while they can, because it sounds like it's not going to be able to be done for long. So I'm glad that we just tested it and that wasn't our actual city, because could you imagine if that was our actual city? And just an entire clan, 250 people's stuff just completely destroyed because of they updated the physics to change that after. Hopefully they let us know of beforehand. I don't know if we should just go and start taking it down. I need to stream from there first to let you guys see what we did do as the proof of concept, but it's not actually going to work anymore. But that's unfortunate, because we built over water, essentially, where we did. And it has full integrity as long as you have a block touching the water. It has full structural integrity. I wonder if you could still do that, but we would have to make the foundations go down to touch underwater. What do you guys think? Master builders out there, how do you think this will function after the fact? So right now we have built over that lake and we just made it touch the water. Yeah, it's the city in the fog. What if we made the foundations go all the way down and touch underneath on the bottom of the lake? Do you think that would restore structural integrity? I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard to do, but I don't know if it would work or not. And if it did, then it's still, the proof of concept still stands. It just would become harder and more resource intense. But yeah, I mean, without being able to put our own water and stuff underneath, we're kind of forced to do that way. Can you go that low? Yeah, you can go that low for sure. You could put them as low as you want. You could put pieces underneath the map. I've noticed that there are some that are actually like that. They're just underneath the map. If you take your camera under there, you can see them. But yeah, you can go that low. And I wonder if that would restore structural integrity, though. We'll have to mess around with that. EOTB says, build down should do the fix, but even still, the height limits will apply, aka lowered by one roof. Maybe, but we don't really, nothing really gets orange up there anyways, so maybe it would just become orange. I don't know. Amber says, happiest birthday, Maven. I love you more. With a triple heart. She says, and it's true, that guy speaking has a birthday on Friday. Oh no. Oh no. My birthday's coming up, guys. I'm getting old. Blimpy says, EOTB just answered that question. Hopefully that's how it works. I guess we'll see. We don't know for sure, and I don't think anyone really will know for sure. Hopefully, maybe we can get in touch with the mainframe devs to see how that's going to affect that build, because I don't want to lose all those resources. I mean, there's a ton of resources there that it's an unfathomable amount of resources that literally you could build 10 cities from if you're a smaller clan. So I don't want to lose those resources and all the hard work people put in there. So I'd like to find that out, but it looks like we're going to have some integrity issues going forward. That's super, super unfortunate. And then the final one here is some gates to other provinces are not displayed on the compass. So you just can't see them on the compass. But that's all of our patch notes. I know it seems like a lot. In reality, like Cat Died said earlier on, there's nothing really super crazy about it. Maven says 24-minute birthdays, 24-minute. Oh my gosh, that's funny. 24-minute birthday stream. Yeah, so that's the patch notes, guys. We do have some interesting stuff to show you here at the end that we've noticed that were changed. I'm going to start with number 8, actually. Let's work our way backwards from these. So this is the new church down in Carey's. It's the same church. They just changed the inside there. All those things you see on the sides, those are all swords. They're all swords laying there. And I think there's a player model for scale for when the dev was building this. This could have just been, we could be looking into this way too much. This could just be they had a little spare time, or they wanted a new dev to get acquainted with placing stuff in the world. So they just gave them a little task of, hey, go and make this place a little more lively. Go add this, and this based on lore in there. Who knows, right? This could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. Who really knows at the end of the day? Let me know your guys' theory crafts about these changes and stuff in the world, but it's kind of an interesting change. There's like a fire bell player model there for scale, candles and stuff, swords with chains all over the place. The Iron Throne. I believe there is too much work to just be playing. They have sandboxes for playing. I don't know. What could it mean, though? What could it mean? Because it's not like, think about it, there's really not that much work that went into that. There's not that much work that went into that. I've made maps for games before, and I don't know how making the maps in Unreal Engine or whatever tools they're using, I don't know how difficult it is. But like to put a fire thing there, like fire is already in the game, so just scale up a fire, put it there. You know, they obviously made some textures and stuff for some things. They have the game objects, but once the game objects are made, placing them in the world like such really isn't that big of an undertaking. So I'm just not too sure what the purpose behind it would be. All of these are courtesy of Eisenborn. One of our community members went out there and he took a bunch of pictures for us and stuff. So this looks really interesting. Christopher says knights are supposedly affiliated with the churches, so it could be that. But these aren't our churches. This is the Inquisition Church. The knights and the soldiers are going to be attached to the baronies, which may or may not be like linked to the church. We don't really know. They've wishy-washed on it a little bit. Chris says, place definitely has a creepy feel. Your footsteps really echo when you're walking in there too. Darth says probably trying to get ideas for new churches or various beliefs. This is Inquisition though. These are Inquisitors because you can see the big Inquisitor symbol on that bell there, as well as in many other locations throughout here that we'll pull up some more images soon. But yeah, I don't know what this means. I really don't. I mean, it's interesting to see. There's been some other small changes and stuff too. There's some hints at maybe staves coming into the game, but they did that with crossbows too. Crossbows were in, and then they took crossbows out. They removed 2 types of weapons that we were using as well. So I don't know per se that staves are coming in the next update or anything like that. I don't know. I guess time will tell. But there were some indicators in different animation changes and different noise changes and things that may have led us down the path to believe that staves are coming. For instance, if you go and search the market stalls and you browse by category for weapons, you can see staves listed. Again, I'm not really sure if that means we're getting staves anytime soon, but it's interesting. It is interesting. I think that this is a really cool POI. All the eyes supposedly have changed now. So we'll have to do a stream going around checking out all these different eyes and stuff. But supposedly all the eyes are now much different than they once were. But it looks really cool. I think that player model there, some people were saying that's going to be an NPC. It's not going to be an NPC, guys. They've been adamant. And I've talked about this before as to why maybe they don't have NPCs. I think the reason they don't have NPCs is a dual purpose thing. I think they're trying to push a social sandbox game of which we are the NPCs, but I also think, hey, NPCs take time and energy to program. That's a lot of work to program and have a whole database structured around what they can say and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think they're just not doing NPCs for more than one reason. And one of them is they're a lot of work. But I think that's just for scale. They just had to get the scale right when they were building it. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of what could this mean. We had a couple ideas thrown around. Maybe it has to do with the church system. Maybe it has to do with the knights in some way. I don't know. Hopefully we get to find out sooner rather than later, but we will see. Let's see some other images we got here. Here's more of a close-up of that fire. Maven says, I love it when NPCs become self-aware too. Viva la Dirt League. I don't know if I get the reference. When NPCs become self-aware. Oh, like us? Like we're self-aware NPCs? But here's a close-up image of that like player model there. Simon Phillips, how's it going? Welcome into the stream, buddy. He says, I just can't find the motivation to log into PAX Day as there's no actual gameplay at the moment. Progress is rather slow. Hopefully they can get more core systems into the game this year. Well, they're hoping to release the game this year, Simon. They literally said we're on track to release this year, and I have no idea how they could possibly even remotely think they're going to do that unless they just start pumping out crazy big systems and they were sandbagging it all along. But I'm right there with you, Simon. I think a lot of people are as well. I mean, activity across you can go look at the Steam charts and just see that it's like there's really not that many people playing. And I know it can be disheartening, but it is what it is. I mean, there's really nothing we could do about it. But that's why I like to have this place for people to come out and voice their opinions. I love hearing from the community and hearing who's waiting for content and stuff to come out. So it's really great to hear from you, Simmons. If there's anyone else in chat, don't be shy. If this is your first time here, hop in chat, and I'd love to hear from you and hear your questions, comments, concerns about anything, really. Anything PAX Day at all. I mean, let it rip. Maven says they do parody videos. Oh, okay. Christopher says, did they get rid of the great swords? So there's still two-handed swords, but they got rid of any of the Zweihanders, and they got rid of all the one-handed axes, and they removed crossbows from the skill sheet because they said it was too early. But now they've added in staves for searchable through the market stalls, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, they did remove the Zweihander, the big swords, the really cool ones. They took those out. EOTB says, yep, not seen any dev studios. They enjoy taking things away from games. Yeah, it's kind of strange when things get removed from an early access game, but it's probably in an attempt to balance things. Christopher says, no. Yeah, they did, unfortunately. But here in this image, you can see a little closer up image of the swords there. There's a ton of swords placed around them as if they like all exploded out from a central source or something. I don't know. It looks very, very interesting. This definitely has something to do with Inquisition. Christopher says, no chance they release this year. Release means subscription. It's not worth the sub right now. I hate to say it, but I agree with you, Christopher. I really want this game to succeed. I think that it has a lot of potential. It's kind of unique. But who's to say that something else doesn't come out in the near future? Dune's about to come out. Maybe they'll come out with private servers, and it's everything everyone always wanted and hoped from PAX and then some. There's bound to be other projects in the works that will come out now. So it's not like all of our eggs are in one basket when it comes to this. And that's why, first and foremost, we're a community. You know, we play all kinds of games together. We don't just play PAX Day. And if you guys would like to join that community, for anyone new here, you can type !Discord in chat. You can join the Cheeky Buggers United. You can submit an application on our website if you'd like to. You don't have to, but it's a great place to just hang out and meet cool people who are all acting in good faith to play whatever game it may be, PAX Day or otherwise. Christopher says, no chance they release this year. Means subscription is not worth a sub right now. If they can get mounts out quickly, that might help. I don't think mounts is like the silver bullet. I think people really want mounts because of the quality of life it's going to bring. But I don't think that that's like the main system we need. I think even more important than mounts, like, don't get me wrong, I want mounts, but I think even more important than mounts is like an alliance and rivalry system, a war system, the barony system, the church system, the knights, and there's so many things that we just don't have. A fleshed out loot system and a permission system where you can have loot like from World of Warcraft-ish, where you can, assign things much more easily so we can have more fluid there, shared gold on pickup for your party. There's so many things that need to take place in order for this to actually be considered a game with proper systems. That mounts are really low on the list for me, in my opinion. If we get fast travel before mounts, then mounts could be put off for a little longer because we could get around with fast travel through the Grace system. But I don't know. It just seems there's a lot that needs to take place, but it's interesting to see it develop. And that's why I love doing this podcast here, to be able to sit down with you guys and let you guys voice your opinions about your questions, comments, concerns. Because the devs do listen to this stuff. They do tune in from time to time, and hearing from you guys really could help them in the development process. Maybe they were a little lost at times, and we can help guide them a little bit, Plastic Jesus says, they said they want to remove the Zweihander to try to make them more unique mechanically. Yeah, they want to balance things, make them, they want it like the one-handed axes too is the same thing with that. Christopher says, I agree mounts are the answer. I think it would be more appealing for new players. I think they need 4 to 5 more fleshed out system loops to really release the game, or aren't. Christopher says that they aren't. He corrected himself there. Yeah, honestly, they really need a lot of core systems. When you look at any other well-established, fleshed out MMO, they've had this stuff since day one, right? Even in their like betas, even in their early accesses, even in their alphas. Look at Ashes of Creation, even. It's like the systems that they have are just far superior to the systems that PAX Day has, and I think it's really going to hold it back. And I think it is a ticking clock. I think it's only a matter of time. They only have a finite window on this stuff in order to make it work. Otherwise, it could be bad. It could be like how, some people are saying Dune could be, how Dune could flop if they don't bring out private servers soon enough, because they're not going to get the support they need. And if they don't let players have private servers, the game could just completely flop. And even the devs were talking about that when it came to Dune. They were saying, granted the game doesn't completely flop X, Y, and Z. So that's kind of discerning when it comes to Dune as well. But yeah, they really need a lot of systems added into PAX Day, to be honest. UDB says, looking good, and the grind does not make the game fun. Integrations as to what it can become has merit, but it also does not make a fun game. Stop telling us and start showing us, I think is what you're trying to say there. I would agree with that sentiment 100%. Let's go on to our next image here. So this is right up above that bell. You can see on the bell you have an Inquisition symbol there, and then up on that tattered banner you have an Inquisition symbol. I think because of all of these symbols and markings and stuff, I would go on a limb and say this is a former church of the Inquisition. Something happened with the Inquisition and they had a downfall and maybe a rising up or a splitting of factions or some insurrection, or I don't know. They had something take place to where they got pushed out of these churches and now they're left in ruins and abandoned. And these eyes are probably telling a story of things past. I don't know what the eye symbol signifies on the map just yet, other than it marking these locations, but I'm starting to think that these are relics of the past. I think that these are telling a story through lore of what could have happened in the past, maybe different ages, as the Inquisition had rises and falls and the Zebians had rises and falls and things like that of their civilizations, because this looks like a decrepit old church of the Inquisition. And it raises questions of, why is it decrepit? Why was it abandoned? Why did they leave it? Why is it in ruins? Why is it not upkept? Why did no other faction take it up and keep it up? I don't know. I mean, there's more questions than answers here, obviously. Christopher says, I just need a dodge mechanic and one more weapon move. Just make the combat feel a little more fun. Yeah, I think that, I've been playing World of Warcraft right now. We're getting ready for the player housing coming out, and we have a lot of players, a lot of members over on the community, Cheeky Buggers United, who've been partaking in that as well. And it's such an interesting difference to see actually having abilities and buttons to push rather than like one or two from PAX Day. You know what I mean? It's so crazy, the dynamic of combat. And it's been a lot of fun, honestly, to actually have buttons to push again. It's been a lot of fun to play World of Warcraft again. And this expansion on WoW has been really, really great as well. Chris says there's a bunch of chains hanging down from the roof too. Yeah, a lot of chains hanging down. A lot of chains connecting the weapons on the ground, a lot of chains on the bell, tattered sigils and stuff, tabards hanging. It's crazy to see this stuff. I think it's an old church. I just don't know what happened to it. Not sure what they signify, Chris says. Christopher Smith says, old church sounds right. Their blood everywhere like a demon showed up. Maybe. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Maybe they got pushed out by some evil force. I don't know. Let's go on to our next image here. This is hard to see, but on that barrel that he's illuminating, there's the Inquisition symbol etched into the top of the barrel. So they have like brandings and markings on their materials as well, signifying that they had some trade routes or some level of commerce that was taking place where they were moving materials around in the world. They were moving things from point A to point B. Maybe they were selling stuff. Maybe they were the predominant force of nature at one point. Who knows? But on that barrel there, on the very top of that lid, you could see that symbol is etched into the wood or burnt into the wood, like a marking of sorts, like a brand. Simon says, if you think WoW combat is better than PAX Day, then that is pretty sad for PAX Day, as it is meant to be action combat, and action combat is normally far, far superior, in my opinion, to WoW style. I mean, WoW has come a long way with its combat, though, but my point was like having actual spells and abilities to push. Right now in PAX, it's like you have one ability, and then if you have a shield, you have one other ability. You have like two things you can push, and it's not really a combat that is action oriented, in my opinion. It's more of just a spam left click. Like it's an attrition based, it's spam left click. And I think that's where PAX Day's combat really, really falls short. There's not a lot of skill to it. I mean, sure, you can try and time your blocks, or you could try and dodge things by moving to the sides or whatnot, but it just ends up feeling very clunky and very one-dimensional. Whereas World of Warcraft combat, you at least have buttons to push, you know? You have spells you can do, you have things you can do to counteract, you have authority over the flow of combat to some degree, especially like for PvP. Like you have to manage your cooldowns and your interrupts and your silences and things like that, and all of your kit. You have to manage it properly in order to try and win that fight. Whereas right now it's like, who can left click faster? Pretty much, you know, that's basically what it comes down to. Who has better gear and who can left click faster? The action combat that they're going for, I think, could be better. Like Dark and Darker, I think is called. Dark and Darker is like a dungeon crawling game with a physics based combat, like kind of like Mordhau. That has the potential to be very skill based. PAX Days falls very, very far short of a system like that, though, unfortunately. Let's go on to our next image here and see. So there's like these new railings up top, and some sections of them are blown out. But you can see the hanging banners with the Inquisition symbols. You can see that new railing system. Some of the chains hanging, you can see here. Some really interesting things are taking place here in this church. If you guys have any questions or any comments on what you think this could be, let me know. Simon says that'd be very cool if the combat was more realistic like Mordout. Yeah, I mean, it'd be really interesting. Or Mountain Blades. Exactly, yeah. But that's all theory craft, guys. I mean, that's just, we could be hopeful for the future and we can talk about things we want to see brought into the game. That's one of the things we love to do here on the channel is theory craft. But it doesn't mean it's going to become true. It doesn't mean it's become fact at any point. It's just our ideas and our hopes and dreams for what the game could be, right? We have a couple more images here. Check this out. Here's a section where there's all kinds of scrolls put up on these walls and these scroll shelves. I think this is really, really cool, especially if we could get a table like that where we could put scrolls on them, or these scroll shelves, or even make our own scrolls and write letters for people and leave them around. I mean, there's so many things that this game has potential. This game has so much potential if all of these things could come into the game where we could really become immersed in our role play here. Christopher says that's probably magic. You think the scrolls are magic? Aren't the Inquisition like really opposed to magic? I think according to lore, the Inquisition are supposed to be like really against magic. Maybe they're collecting magic here and storing it, but you think it'd be locked up a little more secure then. I'm not sure. But this is within that church as well, I believe. Eisenborn, let me know if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was taken from within the church as well. Really cool looking game objects though. Hopefully we get to be able to place those in our bases at some point as well. UTB says the assets, aka craftable, into the player's hands and not just the devs, NPCs. And yes, Inquisition, definitely not for magic, 100%. Kev, how's it going? Kev says, I want my limestone build pieces. I know, Kev, everybody does. Everybody wants something to be able to do. I mean, this patch was good. It added a lot of stuff. That's what we're talking about here, Kev, but leaves a lot to still be wanted and desired. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of people want to get those limestone build pieces, Kev. Really great to see you on stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Chris says it's the second story of the church. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is the second story of the church, is where they have these scrolls up in the top section there. They look really, really cool. Hopefully we can build with those at some point. Christopher Smith says, but they use magic, LOL, like healing magic, right? Yeah, they do actually. Come to think of it, that one NPC, they do the fireballs and the fire rings and stuff. And that other one does the healing magic. I don't know. Maybe it's just certain magic that they're opposed to. I'm not too sure. Maybe they're allowed to use it, but we're not. I don't know. I don't know how the lore fleshes out there. Kev says, doing good, just farming and building. What are you farming? What are you farming currently, Kev? What are you currently after, brother? We have an event coming up soon, guys. Make sure you check the event board. We're going to be going out by Kev and Skywatch to see their build out there and hang out for a little bit. That's coming up not in the not too distant future. So make sure you guys check our public event board on the Discord. Blimpy says, I grew up in a limestone mining town with many buildings built of limestone. I want my limestone pieces too. That sounds pretty cool, Blimpy. Plastic Jesus says it's probably the proliferation of magic that they are against. Magic should be controlled by important people and not by the lowly peasants. Maybe that's what it is, Plastic. He might be onto something there. Kev says he's farming wrought iron, steel ore, etc. Oh, gotcha. We have a couple more images here. I think these are, yep, here's a wagon. So I'm not sure where this is taking place. Chris, if you could shed a little light on that. But it's a wagon. It's kind of like broken down a little bit. There's a bunch of busted up build pieces and wood and stuff around it, like it's left in ruins. We've seen these wagons before in working order inside some of the small encampments and stuff. That looks like the church wall there. Okay, yeah. So it is in the church courtyard. So Chris says that's in the church. I was going to say, it looks like the church wall right there in the background. So this is in the church courtyard. They must have been bringing slaves or some heretics or something here in order to do God knows what with them. Who knows? But this is a really cool image. I think that this is showing a little more of the story of what the Inquisition were really doing at these churches here in the past and what it could mean for the future. And then we have one more image, and this is of materials stacked up, presumably outside the church, Chris, showing that they're moving supplies around, that they were bringing supplies to these churches or moving supplies in and out of the churches, again with those symbols that they have marked onto their boxes and their barrels and things like that. They definitely had some type of trade system going on here. I just don't know what it was and what made it fall. What brought their churches to an end? I'm not really sure. Christopher says, to be honest, I love the mystery. Just fix the combat and I'm good. I got over 2,000 hours. They wiped my first player with almost everything maxed, or maybe I did switching over the servers too early. Yeah, I have over 2,000 hours. I'm going to be doing my 2,000. It was actually kind of funny. I saw a video someone put up, my 50-hour review of PAX Day. And I'm like, I got 2,000 hours in this game. Yeah, I'm going to be doing my 2,000-hour review coming up, hopefully after I feel a little better here. Hopefully I continue to feel better. But I'm going to be doing my 2,000-hour review. But yeah, I feel you. A lot of people really love this game. They got high hopes for it. But hey, is it going to have what it takes to go the distance? That's the question. Chris says, yep, it's in an outbuilding. These look newer than the stuff inside. Yeah, they do. They look fresh. They look clean, which is quite interesting. They don't look decrepit for some reason. It's very interesting. I wonder if they locked off the church or something and something was contained within it. And then they kept having fresh supplies on the outside while the inside went decrepit. I don't know. Very interesting though. You know what the inside kind of reminds me of is the old monastery from Diablo 2, when you'd finally get to the monastery and Dariel had already taken it over, so it was just left in ruins and decrepit with all kinds of creepy stuff everywhere and just literally left in a state of dismay as the demons just ran through the place. Raven says, the title did make me giggle. Can't wait on the review, Christopher says. Kev says, they Sharanki the mud deposits. Oh, they shrank the mud deposits and moved resources around the map. Are you talking about the clay? Yeah, they made the clay less often. There's half as many clay nodes, but they're supposed to drop twice as much clay. But people have found that they actually don't. You actually get 25% less clay. No, I got you. I understood you, Kev. Yeah. Typo, shrink, yeah. So they did shrink the deposits of the clay for sure, but they did not actually up the drop rates enough, in my opinion, to compensate for that. You actually do get less clay now. Trying to think if there's anything else to touch on here, guys. That's all the patch notes here. Let's go to their news page and let's just check and see here. We could go over this stuff while we're here. The market square by the numbers. Top items in the market stalls. All right, so it looks like 11,043 gold, the Royal Bastard Sword. Boiled leather, 13,010 gold. And in third place, the Steel Chopping Axe, 10,605 gold. That's spent on the most expensive items there. Weak Mead Base, 100% sale rate. That's interesting, because I don't think that's really even used yet, is it? Least expensive items, wooden arrow, 1 gold, iron crossguard, 1 gold, wooden beam, 1 gold. 214,794 items sold so far of total items sold. 70,000 of those were charcoal. Almost 12,500 were sapwood. 8,300 units of sand. 32,648,988 accumulated gold. That's a lot of gold. 12.25 million grace accumulated. So those are the numbers there for the most popular things in the market stalls. Blimpy says, all I sell is charcoal. UTB says, agree, unless you use the grace bonus. Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like beforehand, no grace compared to now, no grace. It seems you get 25% less for some reason. Chris says maybe they were trying to reoccupy the church, which had been abandoned for some reason. Maybe. Yeah, maybe they're bringing in new supplies. That's a really good take on it there, Chris. Maybe they're bringing in new supplies that, something terrible happened at the church and they abandoned it and it was left in ruins. But it's interesting that fire is going. Like, why would that fire still be burning? You have to maintain a fire. Things don't just burn forever unless it's coming like from the pits of hell or something, right? But there you have it. That's all the patch notes of what we got in the market square. There were a couple other little shadowy things that were added in, like these new places here. Getting an update, like those churches and those eyes. So make sure if you guys want to go on an adventure, go check out those eyes. Other than that, nothing too crazy in this update. Some nice quality of life stuff. Hopefully we get some actual big content soon that's going to give more people of a reason to come back and enjoy the game, because the numbers keep on dropping. But if you guys are looking for an awesome community to hang out with great people and have some fun playing, no matter which game we're playing, make sure you come over and join the Cheeky Buggers United. It's a great place to hang out and meet cool people that all act in good faith. And we host private servers for different games like Project Zomboid and Minecraft and whatnot. It's just a great gaming community to hang out and meet some awesome people. So that's Cheeky Buggers United. You can join us by typing !Discord in chat. If you guys would like to join us in-game in PAX Day or any other game, and you'd like to join our clans, guilds, or whatever it may be, you can go over to our website and take that membership to the next level. By submitting an application on our website to join the Order of the Blood Brothers or become a verified CBU member. It's a pretty easy process, but it really is, honestly. Like, guys in chat, sound off. Are you guys enjoying the Cheeky Buggers United, our server hosting capacity, the people you've met there, the vetting process? Let people in chat know just how awesome Cheeky Buggers United is. Excuse me. Sorry, had to get a drink of water there. Let's catch up on a little more chat here before we tidy things up. UTB says they are weak numbers, but I give a sense of players in Steam via web. Bought players base a rough idea. Maven says check for a cave around the area too. Kev says if you're still feeling unwell by Sunday or more, welcome to reschedule. I should be well enough. I mean, I'm able to do this stream, struggle a little bit through it, but we'll see. I'll let you know. We'll stay in touch. Send me a message. I'll send you a message. We'll stay in touch, but I'm pretty certain it'll be okay for me to come out there, man. Come and check out the place with everybody and have a little fun, have a little get together out at your place. I appreciate you for hosting us though, too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love events in game. I love streaming different events in game and having fun with everybody in the community. Yah says, feel better. Thank you, Yah. I really appreciate you. Great to see you in stream. Maven says, I have found lifelong friends that I'll always be grateful for on account of this community. I really appreciate that, Maven. Yes, I've met some friendships that will last a lifetime here. Some of the most good faith, best people I've ever met in a gaming community. Oh, my voice is going. After 2.5 hours of chatting with you guys. Blimpy says, get some rest, Void. Thanks for streaming. Kev says, no problem. We'll keep in touch. Absolutely, Kev. UTB says, yeah, we went from semi-normal to string cup and string. Don't overdo it. We need ya. Fragile says, same here too. Moon's giving us the triple heart. It's a great place, guys. Really come check it out, hang out with us, play all kinds of games. Even while you're waiting for PAX Day's content to come out, we do all kinds of stuff in the meantime to keep it fresh and have fun, and we'll start streaming more of that stuff as well, especially once we get some private servers up. It's going to be a lot of really good fun. Christopher says, great stream, good information. Christopher, I'm glad that you think so, man. If you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider clicking that subscription button down below. If you guys would like to support my work, it's very easy to do. You just click that join button. Click that join button down below. It'll give you 3 different options to become a channel channel member. That means the world to me, guys. Huge shout out to all of my channel members, even during this drought, who have stayed loyal and faithful. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are the reason why I'm able to do these streams here and why I'm able to do YouTube and run the community full time, because I literally do. I run the community full time and I manage my YouTube channel full time. And the community is got over 400 plus members now. It's a lot to manage. There's a lot of servers, a lot of server work going on, a lot of infrastructure built up to run the website and all the private servers and things like that for everything. So it could be a bit much, but that's what I do. I run that. I don't monetize the community. All the private servers are free for people to partake in. And if there's enough of a demand for a private server, I spool one up for free for you guys. I don't monetize the community. I had thought about it at times and I steered away from it. Maybe in the future I'll consider it again, who knows? But right now everything's free for the community. For anyone who joins and becomes a vetted and verified member, you get instant access to all the private servers and things like that. No holds barred. If we put up a server day one for like Minecraft or whatever, you guys, as long as you're vetted and verified, you get instant access right into there. But that's why my channel members are so important and so cherished to me, because they are the support that I need in order to be able to continue with all of that. So thank you guys so much. Athena hitting us with the triple heart as well. EOTB says, with known how everything remains free. Federal says, CBU, it's safe, buddy. EOTB says, other than time and effort. Yeah, it is a lot of time and effort, that's for sure. 100%. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for spending your day here with me, going over all of the Market Square patch notes. But that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.
Brisket on the grill, now fill our bellies deep. Juicy, smoky, savory, warriors never sleep. Glistening, crushed, shining bright, there's a flavor near. Slice through all the tough times, tenderness so dear. Oh, brisket, walk right, taste that makes us strong. Low and slow, we cook it, hear us sing our song. Smoky scents arising, spices dancing air. Caramel crust inviting, brisket brings us there. Oh, brisket, walk right, taste that makes us strong. Low and slow, we cook it, hear us sing our song. Our song. Smoky scents arising, spices dancing air. Caramel crust inviting, brisket brings us there. Oh, brisket, walk right, flavor in each bite. Symphony of seasons, makes our songs ignite. Our song. So perfect, mouth watering just right. Chew that's so tender, brisket fuels our fight.